Jackson Archer. Thank you so much for coming back to another video of My Family Watches The Falcon and the Winter Soldier for the first time. Tonight we'll be watching episode 5. I'm very excited about this episode because of the mid-season trailer that was released earlier this week. So it just looks like it's going to be really, really good last 2 episodes. This episode is supposed to be 61 minutes in length, which it probably equates to around 54 minutes of actual episode. So it's going to be the longest one yet. I'm really excited about that. And I'm just really ready to see Bucky and Sam get the shield back. So I don't know if that's going to happen in this episode, but we all know the cool scene from that trailer that came out earlier. You sure you want to do this? Yeah, we do.
It sounded much cooler when Bucky said it.
Yeah, it did sound a lot cooler. It's either going to be a big fight between the 3 of them, or Walker's going to have to help them. They're going to all 3 have to work together to beat some other big baddie. Maybe it's the power broker. But whatever the case may be, I'm excited to see what happens. And this episode is called Truth. And if you look at the thumbnail to the episode, Bucky in particular is wearing the light blue, his blue shirt that he's seen wearing in some of the promo footage that were shown in the original trailers when him and Sam are back in the South in the United States. When Sam is training with the shield, you see the couple clips of Bucky in that blue shirt. So the fact that he's wearing that in the thumbnail to this episode, maybe him, and it says they're back in the US for this episode. So hopefully we get to see that scene. Hopefully that means they get back to the US with the shield. Maybe in this episode or episode 6, Walker will hand them the shield peacefully, come to a peaceful resolution. So we don't know, but I'm really interested to watch.
Yeah, so I watched the trailer too, and I really did think that ending scene where they're getting ready to fight him was really cool. And it felt like something out of a movie. So I'm really looking forward to that. My guess is that since they're actually fighting him now, at least I hope, and I think they should have done this since episode 2. They should have fought him and taken the shield back. I think all those shots of them like training and like having the shield at that house with all the trees, I think that's going to be like either the end of this one or the beginning of the next one. And I think what this show is, it's not exactly what I thought it was going to be. It seems like it's just a little bit of an in-between of just them deciding to take the shield. I thought that like I'm guessing the show's going to end with Falcon. The ending of the show is going to be Falcon is Captain America now. In which, if the show didn't exist, it doesn't really change anything because he was Captain America after Endgame. So this show is just a little bridge showing him taking the shield. So, yeah, I guess it's cool. And it makes sense because this is Disney Plus show. It's just extra stuff. Like, I was thinking about this earlier, like Wanda, she's kind of in the same place as she was after Infinity War. Like, it's all just extra stuff that doesn't really change a whole lot, but it's still really interesting story. So, yeah, it's like they're still just ready for the next moves. I don't know what I'm saying, but I'm looking forward to the fight. All good.
These shows are not supposed to be a conclusive beginning and end. They're a small part of a much larger story to be played out through all the theatrical films.
It's the icing on the cake.
Yes.
I mean, I think it is showing maybe something a little like what happened to them after, even though, like Jake said, they're still in the same place. It shows you what they went through, like even like Wanda, Vision died, so it shows Wanda dealing with that.
This is stuff that normally would be off screen. Like if WandaVision didn't exist, Wanda would still be the same place. Maybe she's more powerful because she, it's a new movie, but she would still be in the same place as she is. Vision is dead, and obviously it's still different for her because apparently now she has kids. But like, it's just extra stuff that normally would be off screen, but we're getting it fleshed out.
These shows are meant to have lots of character development that, like Jake said, would normally just be stuff that happens off screen. So there's a good dose of action that we all love and want to see more of, but there's also lots of character development going on within these shows that I think has gone really well for both of the shows, WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I'm just ready to see what happens to John Walker.
The turd.
Yeah, the giant turd. I'm liking the stuff. I think it's good. This show started out a little slow, but I like it.
I'm liking this show too. I didn't see the trailer that we referred to earlier, but...
You didn't watch my video?
Oh yeah, that, yeah, sure, I watched that. Actually, I don't remember.
What did you say?
I'm looking forward to the show, and you know, last week they got in a fight with that lady from Wakanda, and she took his arm off. That was kind of rude.
Oh, that was neat though.
He should have picked it up and beat her in the head with his vibranium limb. And
She's not bad.
well, why'd she take his arm off if she's not bad? That seemed bad to me. But she might be out there for other reasons.
She took his arm off because he was trying to stop her from getting to John Walker, because she was going to kill John Walker. But she's from Wakanda. That's where Bucky was when he got that new arm that's vibranium. So he didn't know that she could do and make it fall off. But they put that in just as a, maybe they weren't thinking of it as a safeguard, but it is one. Since they were in battle at that point, all she had to do that, and he doesn't have his arm.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna watch the little mid-season sneak peek trailer real quick to show our mom and dad, because they didn't watch it, even though I made a YouTube video on it. They didn't watch it.
It's a good trailer.
Yeah, it is really good.
It's my favorite trailer for the show yet.
Yeah, I think it's really good because majority of the trailer, it just shows things we've already seen in the first 4 episodes, and it's really only within the last 15 seconds maybe that you see some really insightful things that happen in the next 2 episodes. So we're gonna watch that, and then we'll get into the episode, Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 5. Oh, there he is. That's him. Oh my gosh, this is the scene right away.
Oh wow,
Maybe he's immediately feeling bad about what he did. He's remembering Lamar's words.
Efficiency on that, you don't look so good.
Stop, Walker.
You don't look so good.
You don't want anyone else to get hurt. You gotta give me the shield.
Oh my gosh.
I do love how this is shot.
You don't want to do this. Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do. Oh, Bucky's got the shield. Why are you making me do that? Sam's gonna get it.
We could have been a team.
Get it, Sam. It belongs to Sam.
Captain America.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
I had sympathy for him killing his friends. You know, the people that killed him, but I don't have any sympathy for that, yeah.
See, working together. He's giving it to Sam.
You all have to take care of Zemo.
Captain America killing a foreign national in public, it's kind of like a big deal. Carly's a ghost. She's got people helping her from all over the world, on all platforms.
Thanks, Torres.
For sure. Wait, yo, you forgot the wings.
Keep on.
Oh my gosh, is this...
John F. Walker, you are hereby stripped of your title and authority as Captain America.
With all due respect, Senator, I don't think you understand the gravity of the situation fully.
I dedicated my life to your mandate. I only ever did what you asked of me, what you told me to be.
I am Captain America.
Not anymore.
Return the shield to us with expedience.
You don't have the shield, he ain't gonna get it back, Senator.
They just do not know what it takes to be Captain America. They just don't.
Well, these boots are not made for walking. Contessa Valentina Allegro Fontaine. You did the right thing. Taking the serum.
She's a power broker.
Don't worry about the shield. I know you don't have it. It doesn't really belong to the government. It's kind of a legal gray area.
GOC accused them of harboring and abetting international fugitives, so they raided the place and shut it down.
How many times do we have to pay with our lives just to be citizens of this goddamn planet? They're not going to stop. Not unless we make them.
Do what needs to be done. Carly has people everywhere.
Bucky would have killed him.
Oh, kill him.
He just wanted him to know he could.
Yeah.
That was a shot from the game spot.
Oh! I thought, why don't they take him to Wakanda?
We will take him to the left.
You have another favorite answer.
So, don't try to give the shield to Isaiah.
I wondered if you would.
His hands are the safest.
What I think it is,
The safest hands are our own.
I need to understand.
I used to be like you. Until I opened my eyes. Blonde hair, blue eyes, stars and stripes.
Steve did not put you in jail.
A handful of us got shot up with different versions of that song. Some of us started dying off. I bust out of the facility one night and I brought them boys back. 30 years. They experimented on me.
They only cared about recreating the serum.
We gotta do something. We gotta tell somebody. No, they were worried my story might get out. They erased me. They will never let a black man be Captain America.
Now Sam knows he has to do it.
Sarah. Come on. Would be fun to take the boat out one more time, right, before we sell it.
As far as the boat is concerned, bottom line is, Mr. didn't back down.
Listen, don't worry. I'm gonna fix the boat. It might be time to call in a few of those favors. It's time to call us, man. This is amazing. Thanks so much, man. Hey, look, y'all. How do we get it off the truck?
Bucky.
He didn't know Bucky was there, did he?
Yeah. Bucky
Dropping
can show
this
up.
off.
What the heck is that?
Inside for it, I'll go.
Wakandified
Yeah.
Falcon suit. Bucky's gonna stick around for a little while at least.
You want any help? I'm Bucky.
So.
I don't want to make it weird for your family.
Just stay here. The people in this town are the most welcoming people in the world.
People are nice.
But don't flirt with my sister.
After I saw what happened, Lamar, I would never let the person who did that get away.
No, he did lie. The guy he killed didn't kill Lamar.
Alright, okay.
Which, I mean, like Jake said, I kind of understand. Like his anger in that moment.
He was so proud of you. And they made you Captain America to be your partner. It meant the world to him. Me too.
See, his mind is coming apart at the seams in one hand. Also feel very slightly just bad for him in the other.
Oh, please, if it weren't for me, you'd still be running away without you in prison.
She's talking to Batman.
Hey. Oh, he said hey, but that was sweet.
Oh! This is one of the original trailer scenes.
It was weird. Picking it up again.
When Steve told me what he was planning, I don't think either of us really understood what it felt like for a black man to be handed the shield. I owe you an apology. I'm sorry. When you retired, it made me feel like I had nothing left. I had his book. I just figured if it worked for him,
Star
it
Wars and everything.
worked for me.
It doesn't matter what Steve thought. You gotta stop looking to other people to tell you who you are.
He's part of the Winter Soldiers telling me.
Do the work.
I'm making amends.
You weren't amending, you were avenging. You go to these people and say sorry. You gotta make them feel better. You gotta go to them and be of service.
We're partners, co-workers, but we're also a couple guys with a mutual friend.
And there's one thing I've learned, is that I can't win every fight. But that's cool, I'm okay with it. This is our history. We can't lose this fight.
When we gonna let Isaiah Bradley get in there, you gonna let him decide what you do next?
What would be the point of all the pain and sacrifice if I wasn't willing to stand up and keep fighting?
Music that they played in the first episode.
You should take the super soldier serum.
I kind of think at some point maybe he will.
Sounds freedom out. tube not long ago.
Bad fries.
Been going to get paid ever since.
Looking for criminals now.
Haven't you heard? We are criminals.
They're all trans.
Tonight we go to bed.
Look, the right people will go along with this. They always do. I can make a call and have the refugees move now. They can't stay where they are forever.
Those are all Carly's people. One of the people that was in the park.
What's in this thing?
I bet he's trying to build his own shield.
So as the serum, he's always gonna be a super soldier now.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I do really like him as a character. Like, it's interesting.
That was ridiculously good. I can't believe that the opening scene was the fight between the three of them that they showed in that sneak peek trailer. Oh, and by the way, that sneak peek trailer was really just a trailer for this episode. Pretty sure nearly everything, if not everything that was new in that trailer was shown in this episode. So we're going into the finale not completely blind, but with no insight like we had for this episode.
This felt like a finale.
Yeah, this felt like a finale,
Like
so
it could have ended there.
I have to imagine that next week is just going to be insane. I have quite a few notes, so I'm going to try to get through these quick and not be too long-winded. At the very beginning of the episode, when you see John running to that warehouse, and he's hearing Lamar in his head, and he seems very upset. And my note, I wrote down, John regrets his action with a question mark. Because I honestly felt like in that moment he did regret it. Then he starts talking when Sam and Bucky get there. And
He was like having an inner conflict.
Yeah, exactly. He was having some level of conflict, but he still was trying to rationalize killing the guy, which that guy wasn't the direct result of Lamar's death. It was Carly. Yeah, that opening fight scene, that was amazing. I wrote Bucky and Sam working together. Woohoo! That was really good. I was so happy to see that. And I love seeing Sam, because Sam is clearly the underpowered one between the three of them there, but he doesn't let that stop him. There was a point when Walker punched Bucky square across the face and was gonna whack him with the shield, and Sam flew in and bashed him with his wing or something, and really saved Bucky in that instance. And then Bucky came back around another instance and saved Sam when Walker was on top of him. So they just worked together so well. They used the resources. Sam had the shield and blew his jetpack, broke Walker's arm. That was just amazing. I love that. At the end of that fight, Bucky has the shield and he drops it right next to Sam. That was Bucky giving Sam a second chance to take up the legacy of Cap. And as we see throughout the episode and by the end, Sam now understands that because Steve picked him for the legacy of Cap, that he is worthy of it. And because of what he hears from Isaiah Bradley, he knows that he has a responsibility and duty to do it and take on the legacy of Cap and show that a black man, but really any man, can do it. John doesn't deserve to be Captain America, but the council that he had to stand in front of, they don't understand the pressure that they put him under. Because he's literally living up to the Captain America, Steve Rogers, and everything that he was. Yes, John's actions in like killing that flag smasher, that was clearly wrong. Go watch other videos to hear more about that. At the same time, to completely kind of discredit and all the stuff that he did in service for the country, I don't know. I don't like Walker, but at the same time, I still feel very slightly bad for him. He's not an evil guy, but through all this pressure that he's been put under, it's just breaking him mentally, and he can't handle it. The talk with Isaiah Bradley, I think that was really eye-opening to Sam of why he needs to take on the legacy of Cap, and show that he really is the next Captain America. Understanding all the pain that Isaiah Bradley experienced, and how Sam can be this symbol of hope that never happens again. From Isaiah's story, the government only cared about recreating these super soldiers. They didn't care about the human at the end of the day that they were experimenting on, really. And that's what turned Isaiah's life into this enormous tragedy. So you can't help but feel immensely bad for him. Like I said, after hearing Isaiah's talk, Sam knows that he has to take on the legacy of being Cap. And I think he's willing to do it now at that point and wants to do it. Scene with Sharon Carter where she's on the phone with Batroc. So I've seen a theory floating around that some people may think that Sharon is the power broker, which I don't know why she'd be on the phone with Batroc unless she's this double agent that is doing who knows what. But that would be a really interesting twist if Sharon was actually the power broker and behind all of this. Bucky apologized to Sam. He didn't understand what it felt like to be a black man trying to take on the mantle of that shield and the legacy of Captain America. So I thought that was really nice to hear Bucky say that. Sam was accepting of that. And at the same time, too, Sam was really understanding Bucky and his traumas that he's still living through with his nightmares. And it was really nice to see Sam give Bucky some real advice that he probably wasn't really getting from that therapist that he was working with. It was really cool to see them understand each other and I think really connect more on a deeper level than they had been. So I'm excited to see them continue to work together. And I think they're definitely going to be back together again in some capacity for the finale. Obviously, it's the Falcon and Winter Soldier is the show. So they're going to be together for this finale next week. That post-credit scene of Walker, so he's trying to make his own shield. Now, I am assuming that that shield is just going to be made out of steel or some kind of metal that's not vibranium, because I don't know how he would have access to vibranium, so that doesn't make any sense if it's vibranium. But I think it's really cool that he's making his own shield, and he is dead set on he is Captain America, which, no, you're not, Blake. He's not done. He's going to be in some more confrontations with Bucky and Sam, probably, and maybe he's going to be part of a new kind of villain supergroup to go forward in the MCU. I hope that he is continuing in the MCU in some capacity. I would assume he is, because I don't think he's going to die in this show. But I really like his character, and yeah, I want to see more. So I'm sure I'm missing some things, but I'm sure I'll have some more to say when everybody else starts talking.
I really loved the fight between them. That was amazing. It's everything I thought it would be. I wasn't expecting it to be that early in the episode, so that was a little bit of a bummer because after the fight it was very slow, but the fight itself was really good. I like the whole kind of ending near the end with them walking away and that shot of Falcon walking with the shield. And yeah, it was a really good episode, and I love that they're teasing John to be more of a villain. And I kind of agree with everything you've said so far.
He's right. The episode was a little bit slow following that awesome opening fight scene. But I think probably what they were going for is the opening with that big action sequence to satisfy our action cravings for this episode. And then have a lot more character development in this final episode before the finale, which is probably just going to be action-packed and in more character development, definitely.
If this show continues, or in the future, they're not going to be called, at least mainly Bucky, he's not going to be called the Winter Soldier anymore, because that's his villain name. He's going to be the White Wolf. And Falcon probably is going to be Captain America.
Whether or not Sam literally becomes Captain America, he's still obviously going to be part Falcon, because he's not going to give up the wingsuit, but he's just going to be Falcon Captain America, basically. I'm excited to see Sam's further progression, and that training sequence with him learning to use the shield and get better with it at the end was really cool to watch. And so I'm really excited to see the finale next week.
I thought it was a really good episode. I wrote great fight scene. That fight scene right from the beginning, because I didn't understand. I mean, John Walker went in there alone. You knew somebody was going to come, but I didn't realize it was going to be Sam and Bucky so quick.
Well, you remember the last episode? They were standing right there. They saw what he did to the.
Right.
He killed the guy, so they were following him basically.
I guess I didn't realize, even though they saw it, I didn't realize they were on his tail. So I thought that was really cool when Sam and Bucky showed up, and that was a great fight scene. And I need to rewatch it because so much happened. Right when that fight scene ended, does Sam feel guilty? I thought maybe Sam felt guilty for, maybe all of this could have been avoided if he hadn't given the shield to the government.
That's a good point.
Maybe he was, I didn't think that he felt guilty, taking it all himself. He didn't really do anything wrong, but he might feel like, well, if I had just kept the shield and not given it to the government, some of this could have been avoided, you know what I mean? So they showed a look on Sam's face that made me think that.
Really, really good point that I didn't pick up on, but I'm sure part of him is feeling, even if not in that scene, maybe throughout the full episode, but he's probably feeling that way in this scene, that if he had just taken the shield from the start, Walker might not have ever been put in that position and ended up killing somebody and just falling apart mentally.
Obviously they would still have trouble with the other super soldiers and stuff like that, but some stuff could have been avoided, like the John Walker thing. And so I just wondered if that was going through Sam's mind. Why did the Wakanda girls tell Bucky to stay scarce in Wakanda?
They're probably telling him that because they feel that they helped him, like the Wakandan soldier lady who's in the show, and Black Panther's sister Shuri. They helped Bucky get the Winter Soldier brainwashing stuff out of his head. So they did, and they gave him the vibranium arm. They did him a great service in doing that, and they feel like in some sense Bucky betrayed them by releasing Zemo.
I said John Walker's still a turd. Sam and Bucky should have hurt him more in that fight. How did Bucky's arm get fixed after the fight with John Walker?
I don't think it ever got...
It never was broken.
It never got broken. It was just like short-circuited for a second. You could see the electricity in his fingers.
So he could still use it?
Yeah.
It was still workable. I thought it got like torn off. I would like to see, because I always have to bring up WandaVision, I would like to see John Walker fight Scarlet Witch. He wouldn't last long.
He would get murdered instantly.
Right. But that's what I would like to see happen. Where's my Scarlet Witch? It was a good good episode with a great fight scene.
What did you think of the scene at the end when Bucky and Sam were talking to each other and understanding each other's point of view more?
Phenomenal. Good acting, good writing. It was all good. It's good to see those two come together and have some understanding of each other's positions. Not only Bucky understanding Sam's position, but I think Sam understands Bucky's maybe a little too. So they're like understanding one another, which is what we wanted from the beginning. Not only for them to understand each other, but to work together. And now they've kind of done both. And only one more episode to go.
When Sam donated the shield and he handed it back over to the government, that it felt that's Bucky's biggest connection to a family. That's all he really has left of Steve, who kind of was his family. And so it made him doubt Steve and Steve's choice to pick Sam to be the new Captain America, and which made Bucky doubt himself. So it's understandable why Bucky would be so mad at Sam for giving the shield away. But at the same time, Bucky now understands why Sam did what he did and thought it was the right choice. And it wasn't a wrong choice for Sam to give the shield up in the first place. He just didn't realize that the government was going to be stupid and give it to some maniac.
The government shouldn't have done anything with the shield, period. They should have left it encased the way Sam intended. And if they did do something with it, they should have if they wanted to do something with it, they should have consulted with Sam. So yes, they messed up. But that being said, I don't think maybe they realized that John Walker was a maniac. You know, they thought maybe they were giving it to a good guy. It's almost one of those guys who was a good guy until he's not, and turns into a villain. Dr.
Erskine, when he gave the serum to Steve the first time, in the original, he gave the original serum to Steve, he understood that it wasn't about the physical, it wasn't about your performance as a soldier. It was about who you are down on the inside, and that's what makes you worthy of being a super soldier. And that's what, that's how the doctor knew that Steve wouldn't go rogue or turn into a maniac when he suddenly had all this power. He'd respect the power. The government choosing John Walker, they just went on his performance metrics, as he was a damn good soldier. But as we see now, the power is getting to his head, or the thirst for power led him to take the serum when he was in a state of mind that he shouldn't have taken the serum. So now we're seeing that play out. You don't have anything?
Really?
Yeah, I can't think
It
of
was a
anything.
great fight
bad.
scene.
It was good. I liked it.
The beginning and the
Started
end.
off with a real bang and then kind of calmed down and get more into the plot line and the story. But it was just good.
You know, the beginning started with those two working together fighting, and then it ended with those two together talking. You know what I mean? Sam and Bucky fighting somebody in the beginning, and at the end, Sam and Bucky talking it out. You
Yeah.
know? That was kind of,
Nice, like, parallel.
yeah, I kind of think that was really cool.
Yeah, I think it was really good, too.
And they have a love-hate relationship. I loved it when Bucky was flirting with Sam's sister, because I was like, Sam's not going to like that.
And he's just doing that because he knows it'll make
Right, he wants to
aggravate
get
Sam.
on Sam's nerves, because Sam has a love-hate relationship with him, and you know, he would be like, get away from my sister. And then that's exactly what he said.
Yeah.
So I thought that was so funny and good. So I like their relationship, you know, it's complicated.
Yeah, that's something going into the show that everybody was kind of expecting, and that they teased a lot within all the promotional content for the show. They're partners, they're co-workers, and they're gonna bash on each other a lot, but at the end of the day, and what's clearly shown in this episode, is that they truly understand each other a lot more now that they've gone through this experience together. It's cool to see them have developed a deeper connection to each other now, and I can't wait to just see that get stronger and stronger to the point that Bucky and Steve were. This episode was, they hit us with the action right from the get-go so that they could put forth a lot of character development in the rest of this episode, because the finale is likely going to be heavily action-packed. Hopefully keep us satisfied all the way through the long break until we get to Loki. So, yeah, I thought it was really good, and I'm ready to see what happens next week. I'm really excited for next week because we really don't know what to expect. However it ends, we're gonna see Bucky and Sam and Walker too, and a lot more of these characters in future movies or shows. One more thing that I really liked, again, between the talk with Bucky and Sam at the end, is Bucky said that he literally has Steve's notebook that you see at the beginning of Winter Soldier. He's like, I figured if it worked for him, it could work for me. So I don't know, I just thought that was sweet to see that Bucky is still holding on to his friend. Oh, that's another thing too. Sam said, he said Steve's gone. I'm wondering, is Steve Rogers actually dead? Has he passed away? Obviously, they're not going to like usher him in to be in the show a lot because it's focused around Bucky and Sam. But I kind of wonder, is he hiding too? Kind of like Isaiah Bradley is, because the government might want to test and like run experiments on him
that's a good
for more of the
observation.
serum.
Yeah.
So that's actually really interesting, and I would still hold out because of that very reason why Isaiah is technically in hiding, because everybody thinks he's really dead.
Right,
Anybody that knew him.
And if he comes back, they'll want to do testing on him.
Yeah, so if the government knows Captain America's around, or Steve Rogers is around, and where he is, it would be logical for them to want to
Well, where does the government
experiment
think he
on
is?
him.
I mean, where do
I
they
don't
think
know,
he
we don't
was?
know. So maybe nobody really knows that this old man is Steve Rogers besides the Avengers
would be
who
good.
knew what he did.
That would be good, because then they'll never find him. He can stay in hiding.
Yeah, because I
That's
very
okay.
much think that if they did know where he was, that he was around, they would want to experiment on him the way they did with
Yeah,
Isaiah.
of course.
Bucky says, when Steve told me what he was going to do, and I'm pretty sure he's referring to an Endgame after they've defeated Thanos.
Yeah.
So Bucky did know
That he was gonna get
that
the
Steve
stones.
was going to go back in time, put all the stones back, and
Yeah.
then stay there and
He
live his
knew,
life.
yeah, Steve told him.
That was heavily debated upon and theorized of, did Bucky know or did he not know that Steve was going to stay there? And I would assume that, yeah, Bucky knew
He
what Steve
knew
was going to
based
do.
on this.
But this just confirms it, so it was nice to hear that.
Tom Holland, you know how he's known to accidentally give spoilers away?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Chris Evans will make a cameo, and he's just really good at keeping it secret. And,
Yeah.
You know, I mean, could that be possible?
Yeah, I mean, I really don't think he's going to make a cameo in this, like in the next episode of this show, I would love it if he did, but I highly doubt it's gonna happen. I think that rounds out our thoughts. Really enjoyed this episode, and I can't wait to see what happens in the finale next week. I should be pretty much completely done with school come next Friday when we watch the finale, so that's gonna be an awesome Friday. Like the video if you enjoyed. Let us know what you think down in the comment section. Any opinions and ideas you have about the episode or about the show in general. What do you think is going to happen next week in the finale? Consider subscribing to the channel if you want to see more fun content like this. And click the notification bell so that every time we put out a new video, you'll hear about it. That being said, thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day or night wherever you are. Take care. We'll see you next time.